Hey, it's been a while, huh? Yes, I am still alive, for the most part, more or less. The truck project has kind of come to a grinding halt. I take 24 credit hours per semester now, and that's a lot of work. I work at the bowling alley being a complete jerk. That's not as much work, but it still exists. Money ran out, rent went up, it got cold, so the truck is not done. This project's not done, these videos aren't done, but for the time being, I kind of am. But I do get a lot of comments, almost a couple dozen a day, asking me a lot of stuff, and sometimes it's the same questions, so I figured it might be good to do just like a frequently asked questions and comments video just to kind of clear the air. Put something on here and just give some answers to the questions that I get most often, so that maybe I'll stop getting them, because the answers are kind of hidden throughout the channel usually. Usually when someone asks something, it's in a video somewhere, but there's 50 videos, so if you don't feel like watching me, skin my knee for 40 hours, then it's hard to find. So we'll try to address some of those. It's cold, and if you know anything about St. Louis right now, it's under water, so this actually gives me the time to do this. Okay, how is it running? Any problems? Give us an update. Okay, it's not running perfectly. The carburetor that we have sucks. It's not big enough and it's junk anyway, but it does run and I do drive it. I've gotten, I believe, over 800 miles on it since the engine rebuild. At 1,000 miles, I'm gonna drop the oil and put new oil in it, and then hopefully take it across the country to get my fucking motorcycle that's still in Virginia. But it runs great, really cold natured, takes a while to warm up. I've got an issue with the belt to the alternator squealing a lot. I think that it's just the cheap belt, so I have to get to O'Reilly's and get like a better than $3 belt to test that theory out. But the cooling fan runs perfect. Keeps it right below 200 degrees all the time. It's too loud. I need a different exhaust. I've got that cheap exhaust and it's noisy. But I mean, it just goes and goes. It rides terrific. I couldn't be happier. Are you done making videos? No. Can I do this swap with my whatever truck that's not like your truck that I have? Okay, maybe not, who knows. I have a 6th generation Ford. It's from 1972 to 1979, or sorry, 73 to 79, or fuck, I don't even remember. If your truck's like mine, it'll fit. If your truck's not like mine, I don't know, man. You'll have to measure your truck and see if it will. I don't have your truck, I can't measure it. I mean, bring it by and I'll do it. There you go. If you want to know, bring your truck to St. Louis, park it next to mine, and wait for me to come outside, and I'll bring a tape measure and we'll figure it out. I promise. That's my promise to you. How does it ride? Great. I mean, compared to before, night and day. Now, my twin I-beam suspension was falling apart, admittedly, and the rag joint was shredded, and it was just like I was doing this just to do a straight line. It was like a cartoon. This just goes. Okay, sorry, my camera died and I spent a couple hours looking for the battery charger and never found it, so now I've got my telephone duct taped to the tripod. Hopefully this will work to finish this up. But it got dark, so I can't go out and look at the truck, so that stuff will come next. Alright, what are the measurements of anything to do with my front end? Sometimes people will say, well, I don't have the original frame, I just lopped mine off. Can you tell me your measurements? First of all, they're all going to be a little bit different, so just using my measurements isn't really a good idea necessarily. You really just want to measure where your stuff should be and relative to your frame and all of your stuff. In the videos you see how we did it. Whenever I do have time to go out and look at the truck later this week, I will just take a tape measure and show you what my measurements are for the sway bar and stuff like that. just so you can have a rough idea. But again, don't just copy me. Like, measure your truck, see where your stuff should go, and put it there. That's what we did. What did you do about wheel offset? Now, okay, I just have steel Crown Vic rims that I got from the junkyard. And they happen to be, if you'll notice, the kind where the offset is reversed, so it's flat on the front. And then the wheels that I have on the back, you'll see, are the opposite. So they actually match up fine right now. Whenever I go to convert the rear end, I'll have to figure it out from there. So I just kind of got lucky. I went to the junkyard, grabbed some Crown Vic rims, and they fit. So you will have an issue where you'll have to go up to 16 because there's no 15-inch rims, at least which I could find, that will actually fit around the brake caliper for the Crown Vic front end. So you will have to bump up to 16 inches whenever you do the Crown Vic conversion. How much drop did you get? A lot. Quite a bit. I'd say probably at least 5 inches. At first I had no intention of lowering the rear to match it, but as it sits right now, it's got a very, very mean lean going on, which I kind of wanted to lean, but it's a little more pronounced than I would have expected, I guess. So I'm going to definitely try and maybe flip the springs or flip the leaf springs in the back or something to kind of get a little bit of that back in the rear. The other thing is that the tires that I chose for the front are pretty tall, so we had an issue where I turned too sharp coming out of a parking lot 2 days into driving the truck and ripped a tire in half because the brake bracket wasn't mounted far enough away. So if you pick the same size tires as I did, I mean, they barely fit in there. It works, but you just got to kind of feel for it and make sure everything is not rubbing when you first start to go down the road with it. What did you do about the bolt pattern for the rear? So far, nothing. A lot of people will get the rear end from a Ford Explorer or from the Crown Vic as well, just so it all matches up and you have discs on all four. I don't think discs on all four matters because the rear brakes are doing like 15-20% of the stopping power anyway, and it's just kind of overkill. I couldn't afford to do anything that I wanted to do. I'm not interested in the 8.8 rear end that's on the Ford Explorers or the Crown Vics. I like my 9-inch rear end. I converted it to Posi-Track. There's an earlier video you can check out where I mentioned the fact that they made F100s for 3 years in the early 80s that actually had the proper bolt pattern to match the modern Crown Vic front end. And I actually happened to find a set of axles in the junkyard from, I believe, an 81 F100. They have to be the trucks with the power brakes, not the manual brakes, and they have the proper bolt pattern that matches this front end. I have those sitting in a box. Eventually, I'll get around to putting those in and getting new tires and rims, but I can't afford it right now. So right now I'm just rocking 2 different spares because I have 2 different bolt patterns. What do I need in order to convert my FE 360 to a 390? Now, I thought I explained this really well a dozen times, but I keep on getting asked this, so it's really simple. Rods and crank. Now, good luck finding them because nobody makes aftermarket ones that are affordable anyway, in any way, shape, or form. I got mine out of an old Monterey, an old Mercury car from the 60s. You don't need new heads. You don't need anything else. You just need the rods and the crank. You take your 360 apart, replace the crank and the rods with 390 stuff, boom, 390. It's really hard to identify. I really recommend getting a book about FEs from Amazon. That's what I did, because you actually have to get down into the engine and check casting markings to figure out if the crank is what you want and to figure out if the rods are what you want. Do your research, because just because something says it's a 390 somewhere on the top of the engine doesn't mean a damn thing. Pull the oil pan, look inside there, and find out what you're looking at, because otherwise you're just going to be upgrading your 360 to a 360, and that's pointless. It's the same thing. 360 is way more common now in the junkyards because nobody wants them. They're dogs. They're worthless. So a lot of the trucks you find are going to just have 360s in them. I'd start looking at old cars in the junkyard. That's where I found mine. Will blank motor work with this front end swap? Again, I don't know. I had never seen an FE in anywhere, pictures, videos, anywhere that had been made to fit this front end swap, and that's what we did. So get a tape measure and figure it out. I know that the modern motors and all that will just plop right in there into the pedestals that we had to fab mounts for, or so I'm told, but you know, I didn't do it. I put an FE in mine. I have proved that you can put an FE in this front end swap. Other than that, I don't know. So get a tape measure and grab a camera and you prove whatever motor you have, I guess. It sounds to me like blank is what's wrong with your build. Cool, thanks. If you have any insight whatsoever, by all means, throw it on and we will look at that, because we barely know what we're doing, and any advice is totally appreciated. Thanks. I like that. I like those comments. You're lucky to have your dad. Fuck. Yeah, I know, right? Like, he's better than your dad, so... Oh, if your dad's dead, then, you know, sorry. I mean, that sucks. But mine's still here, so fuck yeah. Thank you for your service. Thank you. Proud to be here, proud to serve. Or proud to have served and been done. And not going back, but, you know, go Navy, beat Army. How many cigarettes did this build take so far? All that it's going to. Yep. Turn 30. Done smoking. Hooray. What did you do for the power steering? We have the original power steering pump still in there. Dad actually had me go to the junkyard and get another set of hoses from a Crown Vic, and he just did some magic where he took the hoses apart and made the old hose from the truck and the hose from the Crown Vic into a hose that fits both. I don't know exactly how he did it. He did it when I wasn't there, and I'll do a video where he explains exactly what he did. I think he got a crimp set from excuse me, just had tacos, from Harbor Freight or something, and literally did it on like 20 bucks. So you can use the original power steering pump, and I guess it was the easiest method for us. I'll have him explain that in a future video. I fucking promise. Chill out. What did you do for the front brakes? That's in a video for sure. Look through there. I gave specific part numbers. It was really easy. I'm using the original master cylinder and brake booster from the original truck, and all it took was just like $3 worth of adapters, and boom, it was hooked up. The brake lines were done. So just look for that video. I mean, I don't remember the part numbers. It's in there. I literally put the part number on the screen of the video. It's easy. Make sure that your brackets are far enough away from your tires, though, otherwise it's going to cost you $140 on one dumb mistake. Promise. I hate/love the music on your channel. Where did you get it? Some of it I made. A lot of it my friends made. It's mostly music that's from bands I was in or that my friends were in, and that way I can retain the complete rights to these videos so that I can get, you know, a penny every day from having all these videos, and I get 30 pennies at the end of the month. So I have a separate channel, I'll throw a link to it. It's just like a lot of the music that I use on here, like my old bands and stuff that haven't existed forever and you can't get the music anywhere else. So if you fucking like it, then go over there and you can listen to it. If you fucking hate it, then you can go over there and talk shit about it. So I'll just throw a link up. The music is bizarre because it's the only music that I own the rights to. Did you change the ignition at all? That's probably your problem. Yes, we have an advanced curve kit in the distributor. We didn't film that because we didn't do it. It was beyond us. We had a family friend do it, and outsourced it, sent it down south into rural Missouri, so there wasn't a camera around for it. Sorry. Why did you pick that cam or any other engine component? What was the purpose? Okay, so my engine's not trying to be a race engine. I don't have, you know, forged aluminum heads. I don't have performance anything. It's just the stuff I could afford to make a kind of peppy street engine. So it's not trying to race. It's not trying to be the baddest motherfucker alive. It's just, I just want it to be nice and newish on the inside, and I want, when it's sitting at a stoplight, I want you to know, hey, that's not quite stock. So it's street engine, not a performance engine. So the cam that we picked because it's not too tall to be ridiculous for daily driving, but it's not too mild to just be a replacement stock cam. It's right in the middle. It's choppy. The truck feels like it wants to go. It sounds like it wants to go. But you know, if I lay into it, I'm not gonna be beating any race cars. It's just a cool fucking sounding truck. That's the idea. It was not supposed to be the baddest thing around, but also it's not no bitch, you know. I like it when you admit that you don't know what you're talking about. Great, because I don't have a clue what I'm talking about. I don't. This is just for fun, man. Like, it's been a blast. I've really been surprised by the response. I've been completely humbled by some of the comments. I have a completely different and new relationship with my dad because of this, and he was really apprehensive of putting this on YouTube at first because, I don't know, he had a 1997 kind of view of the internet, and I'm glad I talked him into it, and I'm glad we did it. And thanks a lot for the comments, thanks a lot for the suggestions and the support, thanks a lot for all the Russian trolls, which, I mean, I'm not talking about folklore or anything. Like, there are literally people in Russia who comment in broken English on my videos every day telling me that I suck and that I'm not cool, and it really hurts my feelings. And every day I wake up you know, questioning whether I should actually roll out of bed because people in Russia just hate me. It just hurts my feelings. And no, seriously, fuck you Russian trolls. I don't give a fuck, man. Like, go fucking watch something else for fuck's sake. Jesus. And the rest of you that are enjoying the videos and that have supported it and clicked like, you know, thanks a lot. Cool, you know, appreciate it. So if you have any questions, specific or not, throw them in this video, and then I'll do another one of these soon and address all of those questions. I'll do a measurement video soon just so you can see exactly what all of my measurements are, so that you can fucking be lazy and cheat and not do yours right and just copy mine. I'll do a video about the power steering, and hopefully that will have everything covered that is like behind. And I'll do a walk around the truck and show you some of the issues. I was gonna do that with this video, but I lost that battery and my camera died, and now it's dark and it's cold as shit, and I'm not going outside in the dark to make a shitty video with my phone. So stay tuned. Videos will be coming, not nearly as fast as they were last year. Keep in mind I was doing nothing but the truck last year during the summer, and now I'm fully entrenched in college and work and bullshit. And so this is just gonna be every once in a while, but they are still coming. This channel's still alive, and thanks a lot for watching. Here's to slowly putting out more content about this piece of shit truck that's made me broke, and happy 2016, everybody.